But Fortnite is dying. Fortnite is dying.
Oh my god, Fortnite is dying.
It's over. Fortnite is over.
No, it's not dying. Let me tell you why. Now, if you know anything about my channel, which I would assume you don't know because there's barely anybody that knows me, but if you do, if you know anything about my channel, you would know that this is not really the kind of videos I'll post. But as someone who's been playing this game for the past 8 years, I thought I have to give my opinion on this because it's been going crazy. Now, I won't have any script. I'll just have the main points I want to talk about, and everything else will just be me yapping. So as you all know, with the recent layoff by Epic Games, which honestly is horrible because these are not just numbers, these are people. Some of those people probably have families, and for them to get laid off, for them to lose their source of living, honestly sucks. What sucks even more is that there's a lot of people in the community. Now obviously it's because the Fortnite community is made of young people. A lot of them don't really understand how bad this is. But you know, this video I won't really touch much upon the layoffs as much as they're horrible. I thought I will make this video a bit optimistic and my thoughts on why I think Fortnite is not really dying. But honestly, what do we know? We don't know much about how Epic functions behind the scenes, so it would be kind of stupid to just jump to conclusion. And also with the V-Buck prices recently getting raised, I mean, Fortnite is kind of in a big mess right now. However, because all of this, we are now back in our almost like yearly routine of, oh my god, Fortnite is dying. Oh my god, Fortnite is dying. If you're someone in this community for a long time, you would know that this is basically an almost yearly thing where there's always this time period where people are always saying Fortnite is dying. But I do believe that Fortnite now is in one of the worst positions in a long time. Honestly, everything that's happening in Fortnite right now kind of sucks. But let's be optimistic. I mean, if you look back in somewhere around 2019, this was the first time where I remember hearing people saying that Fortnite is dying. It was back in 2019 when Apex Legends dropped, and it hit 25 million players, I think, in its first week, which was a milestone that Fortnite took months to reach. And because of that, that was the first times we heard people say Fortnite is dying. And mind you, that was a long time ago. That was years ago. We've been hearing this Fortnite dying thing for a long time ago, but clearly Fortnite didn't die since 2019. If anything, it peaked back in 2023, which I'm gonna be talking about soon. And then you have the mech crisis. Yes, I literally call it mech crisis, when Fortnite decided to add the brutes, the mechs, if y'all remember, back in 2019, I think, as well, after the World Cup, which was horrible. That was my lowest point in Fortnite. That was the time where I genuinely considered to stop playing Fortnite. It was the first time where I was like, you know what, I'm done with this game. And at that time, people were also saying Fortnite is dying, it's over. Fortnite is dying, it's over. But clearly that didn't happen. Epic came back, took out the mechs, did their own thing, and all the player base came back. Now fast forward to chapter 2. When chapter 2 got released, when we had the new map for the first time, everyone was hyped about it. But then during that chapter, season 1 got delayed for a long time, mainly due to COVID possibly, which delayed season 2. Now at that time, people would also say, oh my god, Fortnite is dying, blah 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 blah. We heard that many times. And then Fortnite came with season 2, which was probably one of the best seasons in Fortnite ever, and from what I know is the most loved season in Fortnite. And for me personally, it is my favorite season in Fortnite. And then when Epic decided to go in this legal battle with Apple and Google and so on, where they removed their Fortnite mobile, at that time I remember there was a lot of people that saying Fortnite is dying, Fortnite is gonna be spending a lot on this lawsuit, blah 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 blah. But somehow Fortnite managed to come back. Now a lot of people are gonna say this is cope. I watched the last Cypher PK video, and if you look at the comments, there are people who are saying, oh my god, he's probably getting paid by Epic and he's on Epic's payroll, Cypher PK is coping. Now I do get why people say that. I get the frustration, and it's really annoying what Fortnite is going through right now. And I'm pretty sure some of those people don't even care, they're just there to troll. So I mean, looking at Fortnite history, it's really hard to kill Fortnite. I mean, I'm sure throughout all these years, Epic has built enough expertise to know how to deal with these kind of situations. And then fast forward to 2023, where Epic released their Fortnite OG, which from what I know, it peaked more than the original Fortnite 2017-18 peaked, which was insane. So like 5 years after the game was out, which is a battle royale game, which is, you know, the battle royale genre is really hard to keep up. It's really hard to keep it fresh, because if the game doesn't feel fresh, it's almost impossible to keep that game alive. Now with Fortnite, they somehow managed to do that throughout the years up until 2023 when they released the OG, which was insane. I mean, if I remember correctly, there was like around 45 million players log in a single day. I could be wrong there. It could be probably less because that's a crazy number, but there was crazy numbers back then, and that was 5 years after the game came out. And then when Epic decided to go a bit to the metaverse, which I understand why they tried to do it, it will be kind of tough for them to fully depend on the battle royale, so they try to expand in different areas around the market. But that's what I think one of the mistakes is where they put too much focus on the UAFN and so on. Now I know every creator says this, so I don't really want to talk about this much about where Epic should put their focus on, blah blah blah. We all know it should be on battle royale. It's just that they tried so hard to be like Roblox, and it's kind of even annoying to think about, to be honest. Like, they tried so hard, they paid so much money to these map creators, and a lot of these map creators do nothing. With all due respect, some of them just make a map for 20 minutes and then they get shit ton of money for it. Obviously they don't deserve it, but I mean, that's what Epic decided to do with all that money, I guess. But now I understand if you give a lot of money to people who make like the brain rot game, steal their brain rot, because that brings in a lot of people to Fortnite. And from what I know, a lot of people go to Fortnite just to play that. If those kind of maps get the money, then obviously nobody is mad about it, because these maps bring in players. These players buy V-Bucks. V-Bucks makes Fortnite money, Epic money, and so on, you know? So you can't be mad about that. But then when you give all that money to red versus blues, to 1v1 maps, it just doesn't sound right. Now the reason I'm saying again Fortnite is definitely not dying is because looking at history of Fortnite, this has been a thing that's going on for years, and I think people need to keep that in their mind. This is not a new thing where people are saying Fortnite is dying. We've been hearing this a lot. So much time we were hearing Fortnite is dying, but it never died off. Somehow Epic somehow finds a way to bring it back. And Tim Sweeney's tweet, or the blog post they posted on Epic, he did mention that Fortnite will now be focusing more on creating more on battle royale and making fresh seasons and so on. So I think that's a great move. They'll probably shift their focus back to Fortnite battle royale, which I think is severely needed at this point, because this year is going to be very dangerous for Fortnite because of the one and only GTA. I mean, when GTA comes out, it's going to destroy every game in the market, and Fortnite probably too, if they continue on doing whatever the bullshit they're doing right now. You know what I mean? Now, okay, this new season 2 is quite fun. You can see a lot of freshness, which I'll talk about in a bit. But back to my point, if Fortnite doesn't lock in, GTA will sweep Fortnite. However, we're already seeing big changes happening in the Fortnite scene. If you use Twitter, you probably heard of the name Ted Timmons or maybe Epic Tofu. These are two of Epic developers, the ones that I know, which are very active on Twitter. They're always talking to people, asking people for feedback and so on, sharing their opinions and whatever. And I think these two are doing really great in terms of engaging with the community. And they recently also announced Fortnite Dev Sunday, which means on every Sunday there will be certain players that will play with the developers, and these players will share their feedback on the games with the developers. Now that's amazing, honestly. It's a small step toward the right direction, and I am very optimistic that if Fortnite locks in and genuinely pays attention to their battle royale, I genuinely believe Fortnite can make an insane comeback. We've seen them do it before, and I'm sure they can do it again. So shout out to Ted Timmons and Epic Tofu, because I do love how passionate they are towards the game. It's kind of nice to see. But yeah, I do believe Fortnite still has so much to give. I still believe that the Fortnite content can be revived, because looking at the Fortnite content now, it's tough out here. It's really hard for content to blow up, but I do believe Fortnite will make a comeback, and to be honest, I'm not that worried about it unless they really don't lock in, and then GTA gets closer, and then we might be like, okay, Fortnite is dying. But from what it looks like now in April, I think Fortnite it's definitely in a bad spot, but I'm pretty sure they know what they're doing. I'll put my trust in Fortnite now. I'll put my trust in Epic Games now, because clearly we never did before, and you never know. And I mean, if you look at the concurrent players, there's like what, 1.2 million players daily, or like concurrently or whatever. I mean, obviously from a Fortnite player perspective, or like from people in the Fortnite community, we have some sort of like a higher standard, because I mean, these are huge numbers. Some games don't pull this at all, but from our perspective, from the standards we know of Fortnite, obviously these numbers should be way more. So yeah, honestly, I don't believe Fortnite is dying. I think there's a new peak coming. When will it be coming? God knows, but I'm very, very, very hopeful.